Good evening, this is Viewpoint. I'm Zaka Jacob. The Bhoomi Pujan, or the foundation stone laying ceremony for the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, will happen next Wednesday. But the politics around it has already begun. Asduddin Owaisi says that the Prime Minister attending the Bhoomi Pujan goes against the Constitution of India. Sharad Pawar says his opposition is not to the Bhoomi Pujan itself or the Mandir, but to the crowds in these pandemic times. Tonight on the show, I'll be discussing this latest political storm over the Ram Mandir with BJP spokesperson Gopal Krishna Agarwal, Ghanshyam Tiwari of the Samajwadi Party and NCP spokesperson Clyde Crasto. But first, the big story from Ayodhya, as the temple town itself is now gathering for the big day next Wednesday, the Bhoomi Pujan day.
Ram Mandir, only my worry is about there should not be too much assembly. We are not saying that they should not perform the puja.
वो फंक्शन जो होने जा रहा है उसमें अगर वो बहैसियते प्राइम मिनिस्टर प्रधानमंत्री शिरकत करेंगे तो देश को एक मैसेज जाएगा कि प्रधानमंत्री एक फेथ के मानने वालों को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं।
5 अगस्त का कार्यक्रम है, उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए विकास की कई योजनाएं चल रही हैं।
So amidst this COVID pandemic, Ayodhya is getting decked up for the Bhoomi Pujan ceremony on the 5th of August. Authorities have promised to keep it a low affair with just 200-odd guests. This ceremony marks the beginning of the construction of the Ram Mandir, and Prime Minister Modi will himself be attending the pujan and laying the foundation stone for the temple. MIM chief Asduddin Owaisi, though, has said that the Prime Minister's attendance, according to him, is a violation of the constitutional oath of office. Meanwhile, speaking exclusively to CNN News 18, NCP chief Sharad Pawar has said that now is not the time for large gatherings.
How is it that, this issue holds on people's minds even now? How do you look at the Ram Mandir issue?
No, Ram Mandir, only my worry is about there should not be too much assembly. So for thousands and thousands of people assembled there, it's not good. But that means we are not saying that they should not perform the puja or Bhoomi Pujan. Do that. But selective people. I think what suggestion is made by Chief Minister is a larger interest of society with the intention that Corona should not be spread. Shiv Sena or their leadership never thought anything against performing puja and erection of mandir.
Does the NCP support that a function like that is going to be held? Does it support the Ram Janmabhoomi issue?
Ram Janmabhoomi construction of temple we are not against. As I said, the Supreme Court gave decision. Where is the question? It's a decision which has been accepted by the whole country. Only thing is whether we should assembly, we should encourage big numbers there. That has to be seriously considered.
What is the situation now? What is your view now? Is there some kind of reconciliation are we looking at about what you expressed earlier?
No, there is no change in my stance. I still hold the same view about the Honorable Supreme Court judgment, what I said when the judgment came out. I had objected to the Prime Minister of India attending the Bhoomi Pujan function. And I had objected because he is the Prime Minister of India. And if he wants to go there in his individual capacity, good luck to him, because no one can stop him. But going as a Prime Minister of a country, and the Constitution is very clear, this country has no religion.
Right.
And the government of the day has no religion. If the government of the day headed by Mr. Narendra Modi as a Prime Minister has a religion, please enlighten us.
All right, so is it unsecular for the Prime Minister to be attending the Bhoomi Pujan function, or is the opposition simply crying foul, simply trying to politicize this matter. Let me now go across to our political guests, Ghanshyam Tiwari, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Gopal Krishna Agarwal, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and Clyde Crasto, spokesperson of the NCP. Ghanshyam, I don't understand. What is the big deal if the Prime Minister goes there? After all, this temple is being constructed on the back of a 5-judge constitution bench order of the Supreme Court of India.
Well, Zaka, we believe that the nation is
a nation of Ram Bhakt, and people with across faith have now expressed their solidarity with what the Honorable Supreme Court has already decided on this particular matter. So in our opinion, the decision is out there, and there is no politics around the process of it. As far as the Prime Minister's visit is concerned, it is his prerogative. What we believe as political party is to focus on the most pressing thing that the nation wants, the people of the country wants. And the most pressing thing that people of the country want is an answer on how to fight COVID. They want an answer on how their jobs will be revived.
But
they want an answer on
Ghanshyam, the Prime Minister is doing that job 24/7. The whole Bhoomi Pujan from taking off from Delhi, landing there, doing the puja and coming back is just a matter of 2 or 3 hours. Surely you can't hold that against him. The whole puja itself wouldn't last more than a few minutes.
If it is a matter of 2 or 3 hours, then at a time when several states are devastated by floods, at a time when we score 15 lakh cases, why is it that this discussion is spiraling for 2 weeks? Because someone wants the nation to be in this narrative rather than focus on what is the most interesting agenda.
No. One second. We are talking about COVID also. No, Ghanshyam, we're talking about COVID also. We're talking about Rafale also. We're talking about Ram Mandir also. These are all in the news.
And do you think these are equal things? Do you think
there is no
cases in 15 lakh families?
I'm asking you a simple question. I'm asking you a simple question. What is your opposition to the Prime Minister going there? One second. No. Ghanshyam, this is not like other channels. This is not like other channels, and you know that better than anybody else. So please tell me clearly, what is your opposition to the Prime Minister going there? Exactly what is it that you have a problem with?
I have clearly stated that it is Prime Minister's decision. I am not objecting to the Prime Minister. I am objecting to a narrative that is being taken away towards the public from the public cause of COVID, flood, economy, and that is what I am objecting to.
Okay, so misplaced priorities. Okay, let Gopal Krishna Agarwal respond.
We are discussing
misplaced priorities is what Ghanshyam Tiwari says. I don't know how that cuts ice, because we have been talking, at least from a media perspective, we've been talking about COVID, we've been talking about floods, we've been talking about Rafale, we've been talking about all the stories that are there in the news. But nonetheless, please answer his question. The Prime Minister going there is a sign of misplaced priorities for the government.
Who has given the right to Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari to decide what is the priority of the Prime Minister or BJP or UP Chief Minister? It is one of the pride of the nation that we are talking about. It was a 500 years fight over the building of Ram Temple. We consider it as a pride of the country. We consider it as a mandate of the people. This was in our manifesto. We have one on a manifesto which Prime Minister is part of the promise to the country. So if that is happening, and it is happening through the legal process, Supreme Court has accepted. No legal hassle has been created. Everything is well within the legal process.
What about social distancing, Mr. Agarwal? The latest information that we have is that 200 people are being invited. No, one second. Let me finish my question. Let me finish my question. 200 people are being invited. Point is that many festivals have happened in the last 6 months, from Easter to Eid. Again, end of this week, we have another Eid. For all of which, people are not coming out because of the fear of the pandemic. If 200 people are going to come out for the Bhoomi Pujan, what sort of signal is that going to send?
Zaka, this is the real issue, that whether social distancing will be maintained in the corona crisis, what is the way the UP government is organizing, or the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust is organizing. This is the question that we agree to debate. Okay. Therefore, when the Congress and other people are, or CPI is saying that don't telecast it live, this is why, because it is being telecasted so that people do not rush away and come to Ayodhya.
Okay.
So they are so
before I go to
confusing
Clyde, Ghanshyam, so if this is the case, only 200 people are being called, social distancing will be maintained, everybody else can watch it on TV, then you and Samajwadi Party are fine with it. Ghanshyam?
I believe that we don't enter the space of how a prime minister practices his faith. He can practice the faith the way he wants.
Okay.
Our focus is not the plight that Mr. Gopal Agarwal is talking about. My focus is the plight that Prime Minister, his government has caused, and it is the right of me as a citizen and as an opposition that I question this government of plight.
No,
that
you
they
can
have
absolutely
caused.
question the government if the government has done nothing for COVID.
Zaka,
the fact
it has not
is,
done
the
anything.
government has done a lot for COVID.
It has nothing.
I mean,
They have done nothing. Nothing.
Come on, Ghanshyam, in a country of 1 billion people, we have the lowest case fatality rate. Anyway, this debate is not about COVID. We've done enough and more debates about COVID. Let me go to Clyde. One second, Mr. Agarwal. Let me go to Clyde. Clyde, the point is this. Last week, your party chief, Mr. Pawar, said that, now is not the time for Bhoomi Pujan, Corona, pandemic, social distancing. Today, in an interview to my colleague Vinaya Deshpande, he says, I don't have a problem with the Mandir. I don't have a problem with, the Prime Minister going there. I just think that there should be social distancing. So are we to believe that if there's social distancing at that event next week, next Wednesday, then the NCP is fine with it? The NCP is fine with the Ram Mandir? NCP is fine with the Prime Minister going there?
Zaka, whether it was today or the other day at the press conference, I would like to tell you one thing very clearly, and Mr. Pawar has been very clear about this. Even then, in that press conference, when a question was asked that will you be going for the Bhoomi Pujan, what he very clearly said was that I will not be going because right now I am busy, looking after the people of Maharashtra. My priority is Corona. I need to look at the people suffering here. That's what he said again today.
Okay.
He has very, very clearly and categorically said that we have no objection about anything. He only raised a concern. He only was worried about one thing, that there should not be assembly.
Ghanshyam, Gopal, I'm going to pull out. I'm going to pull out of the debate. We've got a big breaking story. We've got a big breaking story. I'm sorry, we've got a big breaking story that's coming right up. This is on the